They say crafting relaxes the mind. But tonight, the story I have for you might just do the opposite. Get your needles ready. This is The Unraveled. Wait, before the horror begins, please subscribe to our channel for more dark mysteries and nightmares. A few weeks ago, I bought an antique skein of deep crimson wool at an estate sale. The label was missing, but the fiber was incredibly soft, almost strangely warm to the touch. That night, I sat down right here to wind it into a center pool cake. As the yarn spun around a swift, the room grew unseasonably cold. My breath began to fog in the air. I ignored it, picked up my needles, and began to knit. A simple, ribbed scarf. Asterisk, knit 2. Purl 2. Knit 2. Purl 2. Asterisk. But the further into the cake I worked, the more the texture changed. The yarn became rough, coarse. It started catching against the wood of my needles, making a dry, scraping sound, like fingernails dragging across an old floorboard. By midnight, I was halfway through the project. That's when I felt the first tug. I always keep my working yarn in a basket on the floor. It should glide out smoothly, but the yarn went completely taut. It snapped tight, pulling the needles hard against my knuckles. I looked down. The yarn wasn't tangled. It was stretching straight out of the basket, trailing across the floorboards and disappearing under the heavy oak door of my closet. I froze. The house was dead silent, except for a faint, rhythmic sound coming from behind that closed closet door. Someone or something was inside, slowly pulling the other end of the yarn. I tried to drop the project. I tried to let go of the needles and run, but my fingers wouldn't move. Around my left index finger, the wool was wrapped so tightly that it had gone numb and white. I was anchored to the chair. Slowly, the closet door creaked open an inch. Out of the pitch-black gap, a hand slid onto the hardwood floor. It was emaciated, gray, and hairless, with fingers that were impossibly long and disjointed. It didn't grab at me. Instead, its long, jagged fingernails pinched the crimson yarn, and it began to pull. My hands were forced to move. The entity wasn't attacking me. It was using me. It was feeding the yarn through its cold, dead fingers, forcing my paralyzed hands to knit faster and faster. The ribbing grew rapidly in my lap, but it wasn't a scarf anymore. It was forming a shape. A wide, hollow, suffocating shroud. As the final inches of the cake vanished into the closet, a face pressed against the crack of the door. It had no skin, just raw muscle, and its jaw hung open in a silent, hollow scream. The project finished itself. The yarn finally ran out. The closet door slammed shut. I can move my hands again now,